The following is a response from Comte de Sabatha, a teacher of esoteric and mystical traditions from Port-au-Prince, Haiti, during a discussion with a Haitian journalist. His work explores the hidden forces influencing thought, belief and governance in Haiti. In analyzing the country's crisis, he argues that true change goes beyond political reforms. It requires addressing collective consciousness, egregores and unseen influences that shape leadership and society. What follows is Comte de Sabatha's perspective, an exploration of the deeper forces driving Haiti's destiny. You're touching on a point that is more about political responsibility, and that's an important aspect. All angles are worth discussing. When we try to solve a problem by looking at the results, it reminds me of a school of thought behaviorism. This approach studies human beings based on their observable behaviors and attitudes. It analyzes individuals from this perspective. However, another group of thinkers proposes a different approach. According to the mentalists, studying people only through their behaviors is not enough, because behaviors are merely the outcome of a set of internal processes. For them, the issue is much deeper than that. In fact, it goes beyond the behaviors of Haitian politicians, the way they speak, the way they govern. Mentalists go further and ask, what about mental states? In other words, what about the thoughts, beliefs and desires that influence a person's actions? Thus, it is not enough to simply wait for a good leader in Haiti. We must ask, what forces influence their thinking? What beliefs guide them? What are their deepest desires? Only by understanding these elements can we truly grasp a leader's motivations and decisions. Mentalism remains within the dimension of thought, belief and desire. Mystics go even further. They ask, what mobilizes and influences thought? What shapes belief? What makes our leaders think the way they do? What makes them indifferent to the mass exodus of young intellectuals fleeing the country, ending up in hardship in a small foreign nation? Why do they not consider creating a true rule of law? If we analyze Haiti's situation solely from a behaviorist perspective, we might overlook the core issue. The problem is not merely behavioral, it is mental. And now, what shapes the mind? This is where we enter into pure mysticism. Thought, belief and behavior are all part of mysticism. They are influenced by currents, by forces, which in turn are influenced by an even greater force. Yes, we need behaviorists, mentalists, mystics and scientists. Every event, every concept has multiple dimensions. If we simply say we are going to train citizens to love their country, that might never happen, because real change requires addressing the root causes for sustainable progress. Imagine a polluted water source in Pétionville flowing downstream to Delmas. If you go to Delmas 40 and purify the water only at that level, what will happen? Only those from Delmas 40 down to Lower Delmas will have access to clean water. But from Pétionville to Delmas 40, the water will remain polluted. For a lasting solution, the water must be purified at its source. This is where the magic happens. This is where we find the forces that influence our presidents, our ministers, our politicians. Haiti's situation will never change unless the root causes are addressed. Yes, it is important to analyze and regulate citizens' behaviors, their perceptions, and their ways of solving problems. But we won't get good Haitian leaders simply by observing how they behave. Instead, we must investigate what forces influence their mentality. The concept of egregore will make more sense as we go further. In a scientific dimension, it is referred to as the collective mind. How do we influence the collective mind? To have good leaders governing the country, we must work at the foundation, at the egregore level, the collective mentality. When this foundational work is done, the police will be strengthened, proper laws will be established, law enforcement will uphold them, and everything will function as a whole. Haiti's transformation cannot be the task of a single social class. Politicians alone cannot solve Haiti's problems. Haitian mystics, scientists, and the state itself must mobilize. As long as exclusion exists, we will not get far. Let me say one more thing about other countries. When you watch the news, television reports, and social media discussions about how certain nations emerge from national crises, you only hear what they choose to reveal. You don't know what is left unsaid about how they truly navigated those crises. That's where the complexity lies. How did the USA break free from England? How did some small African countries break free from France? People will say it was due to the army, courageous leaders, and so on. That is what we see on TV and social media. But is that really all there was? Every country has its own strategy for controlling the information it shares about itself. Some classified information will never be disclosed. We've heard reports about the USA being involved in paranormal and mystical activities. The Pentagon is actively working on such matters for the benefit of the United States, but such things are never openly shared with the public. If such information were to leak, you would see massive media operations working to cover up the truth. They do not want the world to know that they mix the paranormal with mysticism. Yet this is nothing new. There has never been a government, whether in ancient Egypt, ancient Rome, or many Western nations, including Germany, that did not integrate some form of magic into its governance. The only difference is they do not make it public on social media. We cannot study behavior without studying the mind, and we cannot study the mind without understanding the forces that influence it. In this discussion, Comte de Sabatha challenges us to rethink Haiti's crisis beyond conventional politics. He emphasizes the need to address the root forces shaping national consciousness for true transformation. His insights open a path towards deeper reflection and action. For more on his work and research, visit www.sabatha.org. Thank you for watching.